Hey, welcome into another episode of Halos in the Infield, the post-game show with your host, Todd Fox. That is me. It is somber. It is bittersweet. We have reached the finale. If you've crossed the finish line, sticking with us all season long. I know we had a bigger group of fans on here all season and at one point, but I don't blame those that have dropped off over the last few weeks, 2 months or even 3 months, because the team hit such a wall so fast. And then also we've had the opportunity of not seeing our team in the postseason for 8 straight years. So that's been a little bit of a problem, and people have been upset the way this team can't score runs. There's been a lot of reasons why a lot of Angel fans have jumped off the ship, and that's fine, and especially with football season around. But the Angels whimpered into the offseason and into their golf carts again this season. And, before this series happened, I really felt that it would be important for the Angels to take some sort of momentum into next season. I thought that, at some point we would get into, again, we had a 7-game winning streak before we played Oakland again. We disposed of them pretty easily at the Big A, and I figured, okay, we could win these last 3 games at that trash dump up at the Coliseum, and hopefully, you get back down and it's 10, you get to a 10-game winning streak, and that's kind of impressive going into next season. Although we can't carry those wins over, it would have been, some sort of like momentum, like I said. And then what happens is we go into Oakland and we get swept. And it's a failure on all aspects, as the Angels, instead of being 76-86 to finish the year, they're 73-89. That helps their draft status at some point. So you're like, okay, so it's a win-win. If anything, you could take the good with the bad and just say, whatever, we lost the last 3, but we help ourselves as draft status. Then you look at the other aspect of it, and you figure, okay, like today Trout hit his 40th home run, so he finishes a year with 40 home runs, and you're kind of pissed off at the guy because had he learned or realized the injury that he had, maybe he doesn't sit out as much, and maybe this dude, if he doesn't have the injury, hits like 55 home runs. He could have. He missed an entire month or so, almost 6 weeks, so he could have hit so many more home runs. And then you look at Ohtani, you look at him, and he had a great season. You look at the pitching staff, and again, I don't care what Halo family says, the pitching staff was great. They weren't the problem this year. This was a pitching staff that if you got any kind of consistent hitting, any kind, you could have made the playoffs this year. Seattle, if you look up and down their lineup, did not get any, did not blow your socks off and say, oh my God, this team was so good that they made the postseason with such a great team hitting-wise. No, their pitching was just as good as ours, just a notch below, actually. And the Angels had a better pitching staff. However, they got the key hits when they needed them. They got guys on base. This team couldn't do that. So that's the reason why we're sitting here 16 games under 500. That's the reason why the Angels are not going to make the postseason. And that's why it's so frustrating that today's news came out. And I'm sitting there, I'm waking up, and my phone's blowing up, and you got, Fernando on one side saying, hey, I told you so, and he kind of called it. He, on our last pod, said, I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Nevin came back, because the way you've seen the last month or two, the players reacting to him as a manager in general. Now, that's all fine and well, and I'm willing to give a guy a 1-year deal. I think that's another prove-it contract. It was like one of those things where, okay, you took over a sinking ship. How the hell are you supposed to bring it out of the water and get to shore? I get that. Phil Nevin was effed taking over this job. I get it. Now, if they would have gave him a 3 to 4 year deal, I'm pissed off. But they gave him a 1-year deal, and it's like, okay, let's see what you could do with a full with Perry's guys, and let's see if they can actually put things together for you. And if you're this good of a manager and the players like you this much, maybe this thing will be good, and maybe we can establish something. And maybe by the All-Star break, if you guys are 10 games above 500 and you're pushing first place and things like that, and it looks like the team is on you for sure, they've bought in and everything, then yeah, you get an extension. I'm good with that, okay? But where it stops with the management is that Jeff Blum today actually reported, when they asked him about his coaches, they're going to reevaluate things. They could bring them all back. The fuck? Are you serious? I mean, there's 2 guys that I would have booted off the bus months ago, and you know who they are. Paul Sorrento's fat-ass, nacho-eating, wearing, cheese-stained jersey, and Jeremy, I chase Pokemon for a living, Reed. I've yelled so much over the last 2 seasons on this podcast about how much I can't stand those bozos and idiots. They're the worst hitting instructors of all time. They don't help anybody. If you don't want to look and get deep into why this team sucks, if you want to look at just one example, just take one example of why this team can't do anything with the current hitting coaches on this staff and why they can't hit, just look at Brandon Marsh. And if you don't have the MLB package and you don't have maybe the access to, well, you should have at least basic cable somehow on one of your apps or on your TV. If you want to know why the reason why the Angels suck, and they've sucked this year at hitting, just turn on when the Phillies take on in their first postseason against the Cardinals. Just watch Brandon Marsh's stance compared to his stance prior to him leaving to Philly. And you could tell that right away, all these idiots and Halo honks and Roger Lodge that said, oh, it's not the coaches, it's not their fault, it's the players got to get things together. True on each side. But the coaches need to help the players adjust. Players get into bad habits, they don't follow through, and sometimes all it takes is someone saying, hey, you need to tweak this, you need to tweak that, and that's good. You just look at Brandon Marsh and see what he's doing in Philly. Watch a Philly post game because you'll have you don't have any excuse unless you're done with baseball completely. It's all playoffs right now and the Angels aren't in it. Just look at Brandon Marsh. Look at the difference in his swing compared to the swing that he had here in Anaheim. And that should tell you something. That why is it that a hitting instructor in Philly can see the problem and change it within the first week and get homeboy batting 300 or more. Yet we couldn't get him to even make contact with the ball here in Anaheim, and everybody was fine with that. Nobody called him out. We didn't even send him down. But Joe Adell has the same holes in his swing, and we sent him up and down 4 or 5 times, screwing with his already sensitive head. There's problems I have that Perry has done hitting-wise and not helping the depth on this team. And then there's situations where I saw down the stretch where Perry actually brought the right players up. Soto batting 400, Ohapi, learning on the go, resting Stassi because he's useless, and there's players like I'm not worried about what he can do in the offseason to strengthen this bullpen and strengthen the rotation even more. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what he can do for the bench and for the starting lineup. And if he doesn't go out there and if Artie's still the freaking owner of this team, not jump on a Dansby Swanson. We don't need him. We don't need him. The number one priority should be signing Ohtani, and that's it. And then we go from there. We try to fix the bench. The bench is deplorable. We don't need your Matt Duffys. We don't need your Squids. We don't need your freaking Suzuki's. Players like that gotta go. Gotta go. We need capable hitters off that bench to help the starting lineup. And we need a piece or two in that lineup. Nothing expensive. We really don't need anything expensive. If guys like Rendon, Trout, Ohtani, Walsh, and freaking Ward can stay healthy, there's your core 5 right there. And you build around that with Renifos, the Fletchers, the Ohapis, all that stuff around in the lineup. Maybe even Soto if he makes it back. I'm just upset the fact that, again, we're entertaining the fact and not calling it what it is. Any other organization would be like, this is the glaring problem right here. Get the F out. And they don't. We don't want to call anybody on the freaking rug. And the problem is been the hitting instructors all year. It's a glaring issue. Maybe, like I said, right when it looks like it's getting going and we're looking good with a 7-game streak, we get swept. The hitting stops again. And again, Nevin, I'm upset and I'm happy at the same time that he gets a chance. I'm happy the fact that he's got a prove-it contract. You could fire him mid-season if the Angels fall on their ass again. I don't want that to happen, but you can give him an extension if the Angels do good. I don't like the fact, though, as a manager, that he hasn't called out and said, I want my own staff. He should get his own staff. And I was not crazy about how he did things in the extra innings. The last couple days, extra innings, do we bunt to get that runner over? No. We're trying to get hits and we don't get any runs. We don't score anything. We don't do no hit and runs. We don't do no bunts. There's glaring issues on this squad that really upset me when he coaches hitting-wise and some of his adjustments. Now, his pitching, I love his pitching adjustments. I love the fact that he hangs on to guys. He lets guys finish innings. He has faith in them. He's pumping them up and everything else like that. He's great with pitchers. But the hitting is not there. So we have to see what happens. I'm not feeling this end to the season. And it's just we have to see what happens next year, and it sucks because this is a huge offseason. We're not going out there getting that manager now that we thought we were going to get. Now the focus is on Ohtani, and the focus is on Moreno. Is Moreno going to sell this team? Please, for the love of God, get rid of Moreno. I'm tired of 1,000 bobbleheads every year. I'm tired of the fact that he thinks we're all stupid as fans. I'm just tired of him as a owner. He sucks. He's a tool. He's a terrible owner. I had high expectations for him coming in as a minority, coming in showing I thought that he would reach out to the Hispanic community and do really good. I really did. I thought that he was going to be a pillar and help out bring more fans, and instead he alienated more fans of all races. It sucked. So I mean, who knows what the next owner is going to bring? But I do know one thing: they're going to try to win. Because you're not going to spend $2.5 billion on a team like this, which is going to be the going rate for this franchise, to suck. They're going to spend $2.5 billion and then probably a hell of a lot more to get them into a winning position. So we'll see what goes today. There's a lot going on. Let's get to the comments here on the final game of the series and of the season. Of a season that started out so optimistic. For the first time in 4 years, we saw the hitting and the pitching primarily on the same page. I was optimistic in April and halfway through May. In fact, I told a lot of my Dodger friends, I said, "Hey, you know what, man? We're gonna be right there with you in the playoffs." They should have just been like, because that's what I deserved. I mean, I was sitting there drinking the Kool-Aid. I was doing it all, man. I was like, hell yeah, we are there, baby. Postseason bound. Wait till you see us on TBS and Fox. Hell yeah. Oh boy. And then mid-May happened. Then June happened. Then July happened. And then followed August. And then here we are, baby, in September, getting our golf clubs together. And we're going to hit the driving range. We're going to see videos of how far Mike Trout can hit a golf ball at a driving range. And then we're going to get videos of Angel players over there doing their thing. And, the most excitement that we'll have is probably some Angel players getting ready for the WBC. And that's about it. That's about it. It's going to be a long off season. And hopefully, though, it turns out the right way for us and we're able to enjoy it. But right now, I'm telling you, April and May, I would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed in your face. I would like, unless catastrophic injuries happen to this team. There's really good camaraderie on this bench and everything. They're doing the whole hat thing. No, but it's going to be fine. This is Rendon's redemption year. I bit into it like an idiot. I'm like, Trout stays healthy all year, baby. Woo! I was like, hell yeah, the pitching staff's going to hold up all year, which I was right with that. And that's the one thing I would have been like, hey, I'm stupid. I blew it there. I actually trusted the pitching. But no, and I thought, oh, Madden's good, man. He's got these guys dressing like squid. They're doing all this kind of cool stuff. They're going to be great. Watch, Mohawks are coming. Here we go. Boy, was I stupid for believing that this team would. And you know what's going to suck before I get into the comments? You know what's really going to suck? What's really going to suck is next year, we are all going to be apathetic to this team. Again, if you weren't already, it's going to be prove it. Shut up and prove it. So even if this team in April gets off to a 10-1 record, or they're 8 to 12 games above 500 come May, All of us are still going to be like, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what they can do by the All-Star break. And we're not going to be as excited as we should be. And there might not be a sellout or sellouts going into the May and June part of the season. And that's perfectly fine. You know what? Why? Because they deserve that. They deserve that. What have you done for me lately? And it's been 8 years of what have you done for me lately, not making the postseason. So if some Angel fans take a while to come back to the park and are refusing to believe it until they see it, I have no problem with you. I don't. I'm not going to be one of these guys that's going to be like, oh, man, you're a freaking bandwagoner if you come back in August and September. I'm not. Because you get a pass. You absolutely get a pass if you don't want to go to a game. If you're one of these fans that goes to 3 or 4 games a year and you're upset the fact that you spent your money and they look like shit for most of the year, you believe too early, I have no problem with you. I don't. Because I knew you were an Angel fan before. I know you're probably watching on TV, and that's fine. Prove it, and then you'll go. I'm good with that. It's not ideal, but did this team earn your respect? I don't think so. Did this team earn your money? I don't think so. So you as a fan have every right to boo. You have every right to not go to a game. And if this team was like some of these teams like Oakland or Pittsburgh, where if you watched when Pittsburgh sucked and they got good with McCutchen, they were still in, I think it was June or July, averaging only 15, 20,000 fans. It took for them to almost get to August before you saw the Jolly Roger in Pittsburgh packed, before you saw that whole thing packed, because they didn't believe until they got after the All-Star break because their hearts had been broken so many times. So, again, when stuff like that happens, I don't blame the fans at all. That's an organizational thing. They had to earn their fans back, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Now, if the Angels were to win 100 games next year and the following season it starts out like that, then I'm calling out the fans. But when you've stacked up 8 years of shit and you expect a full house to start the season after the first week, no, Artie, no, you don't get that. You don't get your cake and eat it too. This team's got to prove itself first. So that's where I'm with the fans. It's going to be if the Angel fans come back in droves next year, hey, that's on them too. They want to be like that, that's fine. I'm for that too. I'll be there. But it's not going to be one of those things where, again, I'm going to be, giving the pass to the Angel fans in August and September. You got to be there if they're winning. But this team's got to prove something to me next year. This team has got to prove something to you next year. You, the fan. You need to know that this team is trying to put out the best product it possibly can. Because newsflash, we live in California, and things aren't cheap. And yes, you could say, oh, Artie's never raised the beer, and the parking's still $10. Okay, that's fine. But are the tickets getting cheaper? Is the food at the stadium getting cheaper? No, it's not. It still costs a shit ton of money to facilitate your family at a game. And the last thing you want to do is say, okay, we spent a lot on the tickets. We spent a lot, maybe I got you a little merchandise. We don't have too much for food. I've been there, and if you have like a child or something, they're like, oh, I just want some red vines. I can't afford $6 for red vines. So it's going to be one of those things. Get a plastic clear bag and fill that shit up with 99-cent food and bring it in. Because I wouldn't give too much money to Artie if he's still the owner next year. Again, if you can't get away from paying from the tickets unless you get hookups, but if you have a clear plastic bag, go raid the 99-cent store. Get yourself some Cracker Jacks. Get yourself some popcorn. Get yourself some candy. Bring in a few drinks that are bottles, not cans, and do that and not pay Artie. And then treat your family out to a nice dinner after the game or before the game. Do that. Don't give Artie your money. Don't be buying no overpriced hot dogs, overpriced hamburgers. Don't feed into his bullshit. Once they change organizational things, no matter what they're doing on the field, then give your money to Artie. That's my suggestion right there. Let's get into some comments here on this last final post game of the season. Let's see, I'm going to catch up a little bit because there's a lot of freaking comments I'm going to go over. So if I didn't read your comments in the beginning of the show, it's because I'm trying to catch up because it's going to be more relevant to the show. Marsh got rid of the leg kick, became an upper body hitter. Ace says exactly. He learned that with the players right there. Jason Kroom says Adele is going to rake when he gets traded to the Cardinals for a patch for some peanuts, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do that. I could easily see him in St. Louis. I swear I want to talk to Soto, Renifo, Ohapi, and others to run away from Reed and Sorrento. Dylan says I agree. Sonia says because Kevin Long knows his shit. He sure does. Playoffs. Randy says. Also, Grillmaster says the same thing. Also, worst ran big market organization not named the New York Knicks. Boy, that is sad. True says, when I see Marsh stance last night, I was like, what the fuck? Exactly. It's changed completely. Marsh, be over. Thank you. Over at the Philly saying thank you. My boy Martin Boylan says. Randy says, and I did say Trout would be okay. Still finished with 40 bombs. He sure did. No, we don't need Squiddy, by the way. Just imagine if he didn't get hurt, he'd have 50. Exactly, Dylan. Rendon will never stay healthy, Armani says. Also, interesting to hear $30 million for Ohtani may be the Bay line for teams to swoop in and offer him insane money. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it's a danger that they let it go this far, but he's still under contract, so we have the first and we have the exclusive rights. They can't tamper. Jason says Angels seem to trade and fire the wrong people. Exactly. Andrew Rivas says watch Nevin bring back the same exact staff. That's my biggest fear, Andrew. That's my biggest fear. Also, what the fuck? Perry Manassian gave Phil Nevin a new contract. Exactly, Jesus. Small ball and the Angels don't go together. That's the problem, Rayu. The issues are Paul Sorrento and Jeremy Reed, Grillmaster says. Absolutely. That will be ridiculously pathetic if they bring him back. What's the number now? The number, I'll give it out once we get there, but it's the same one. I actually got it back. It's 714-598-3221. But you guys can call in once I'm done here with the comments. Artie Bobblehead, a Harlot Moreno. also, Patrick O'Neill needs to be. Yeah, I want him gone. I want him gone. I think we could do a lot better in the in the booth right there. We finished off so poorly, but the boys, guys. Let's see, they did a great job getting through the season. Let's see. Well, to be fair, our fans are fucking retarded. Well, that's Randy's, but that's Randy's opinion, not mine. Saw Trout hit a 452-foot home run, 350th for his career, Landon says. Rob says Todd Biden, was hoping he would change culture for everyone. Exactly. Josh says we officially finished 13 and a half games out of the wild card. Yeah, that was nice. Lewis says Angels are the fourth highest payroll, and we still suck. It's true. So what, let's see, 170 days till opening day, and we got to get this shit right. Exactly. We're on the clock already. Dylan says the Angels literally teased the fuck out of us. Seriously, they sure did. Shoot, I was snoring and snorting the Kool-Aid powder. Yeah, he was, and so was I. Andrew says the only reason why it makes sense to give Nevin a one-year deal is because the team is going to be solid during the season, and a new owner needs to stay in the staff. I could see that. Honk honk. I said the same thing about the playoffs bound and nothing. Yep, see, Lewis was on the same thing. Don't forget about Trout seeing the Eagles game. Yeah, he needs to get to the playoff games. I'm going to opening day next year, Mateo. Yeah, because back up in Oakland. Enjoy. Ace says many of the baseball experts point to the towards Ward and Rendon injuries for the Angels' downfall. That's only a little bit. It's the baseball experts in quotes. It was the hitting, and it was the mismanagement of the lineup. It was Joe Madden. It was a lot of things that led to it, and the pitching somehow survived everything. Any management that has to stay in the staff is fucking bullshit. That needs to be on Nevin. I agree. In the words of Gilbert Godfrey, you fool! And then Grillmaster said, even when the team was good, I kept telling other people just wait for the other shoe to drop. Well, you know what? You always say that, Grillmaster, until proven right. And you know what? You've been able to stay negative because this team's been negative for a while. Andrew says, we are all honks in the beginning of the season. Yes, we are. We all are stupid. Everyone gets a honk. This is a honk for everybody. Literally thought Ohtani would get pushed back on starts. Nope, he literally carried the team. Every player that gets traded ends up in the playoffs. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not going to be the only one that says a positive thing about this team until the All-Star game, if there's anything positive to say, Andrew says. I said wait till the All-Star break to see where the Angels were going to be at, and we saw that the season was over by then. Yeah, Ryu, that ended super quick. We didn't even get a chance to get there. Don't make fun of me, asshole, Randy says. Read it, Sereno. I got one word for you. Exactly. There you go. I already know what that word is. Let's see. So I wasted $78 Monday and today to see us get swept. You sure did, buddy. I'm sorry. Squiddy Poo checks in with thank you guys for believing in me. Now I know if I'm playing today, I would have made a difference. Soto sucks. Yeah, sure. Soto's batting 400. Adosa Dilla says the only reason I wouldn't want to go to a game is because Artie Moreno. We as Angels fans need to be there supporting win or lose. It legit helps the players. They do what they do for fans. I get it. I'm not telling you whether to go. My only thing was, Adosa Dilla, is if it's going to take you a while to believe in this team, I have no problem with you. And if that means you not going to the first couple months of the season, I have no problem with you. It's just that, don't give us any shit if we're drinking the Kool-Aid and the team goes down. We're hardcore fans. That's the only thing I would say. Let's see. Also, Sonia says, hell, Heedy and Randy got all my money on me on merch for this year. Much better than giving it to Artie. There you go. Appreciate that again. Sonia's one of our hardcore fans, if not the hardcore fan. Anthony Gonzalez says, worst way to end the season, losing to the last place A's is bullshit. Exactly. I don't care how they lost, whether it was 1 run or 10 runs a game. It's terrible. Dylan says the A's know what the fuck is going on. They know how to boycott the owner. They sure do. They didn't show up, but today, Artie promised me $300 million. No, he didn't, Squiddy Poo. Get out of here. This team was one of the worst since 2016 squad. Now that's saying something, but their pitching was so good. That's the problem. That's what got me freaking believing so much was the pitching. Yeah, that's what they are doing. It's mainly because they're all Giants fans up there in Oakland. Andrew Rivas says, last game I went to was the no-hitter. Thank God I stopped there. You left on a high note. I would have broken a record today, for hitting 100, Squid. Also, let's see, $6 for fucking Red Vines. Fucking, yeah, it's crazy, dude. You would have broken your leg, Squid, in the single A. Exactly. Angels coming to Utah, confirmed Salt Lake Angels. Tyson says he would love that. He's like a season ticket holder up there for the AAA squad. Well, Artie won't be around much longer to give your money to. That's the hope, Randy. And I hope I hope that projection right there is on point, because I would love to see him have the door hit him on the way out. Alex said Artie didn't even marry his own race. That should tell you something. Damn, I don't know. I mean, that's up to the individual person. I'm not going to fault him for that. I'm not going to entertain Squiddy Poo's comment right there. You're nowhere close. Just got out of school, going home right now, and yeah, Mountain Dew King's ready to roll. Angel's grandma says, I was at the game when Ohtani threw the no-hitter to the 8th inning. I will hold on to that memory during the offseason. Please sign Ohtani to a long-term contract and during this offseason. So she's hopeful. Jim checks in. He was up there in Oakland with his grandkids. He says entire Pacific Rim was Oakland today. I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, he sure did. Also, I literally thought he would do it today, get a no-hitter. Marty says, hi, Todd. Thank you for everything. Hopefully next year will be much better. Absolutely, Marty. Another super fan right there. Mateo says, when Vaught hit that home run, I was the only fan in my seat. Exactly. Voit, actually, it's funny. Voit, they're celebrating that guy like he's a Hall of Famer or something. I get it. He had a long career, but dude was batting like 141. Credit to their fans needed something to cheer about. Mateo's leaving the stadium right now. Today, my grandson Logan snags Ohtani, Stephen Voit, final game of his career foul ball in Oakland. That's a cool moment right there to treasure with you guys. Also, let's see. Jim says, by the way, Oakland's drum and bugle corps definitely sucks. They sure do. Crazy how the Oakland A's announcers say how much the good players that they have. We would have ran into their management if they were to, or if they would have been good if they, if they would have fixed things. Randy said Todd believes it too. He hates all of you. No, I don't. Shut up, Randy. Randy's always around there trolling. But hold on a second. Let me pop something up here. Let's see if I can get this going here. Skype app open. So yeah, let me jump back in here to the comments. Let's see. Time for the Anaheim Ducks. Grillmaster says, on the bright side, the Oakland Athletics definitely has better hot dogs than Artie. Yeah, since they switched to those hot dogs, the Hoffy ones, they're disgusting at the Big A. Scotty Thompson says, hold Nevin for now. I don't want him managing a contender team. Bullpen is shit, and and I think he left off right there. Oh, need to clear it out. Rendon going down was Walsh's downfall. Dude needs protection, and he's mediocre at best. And, this lineup will get better, I think, once the shift is gone. So you'll see guys' average going up next year. Ace says, I finally got honked. That's what she said. I love it, Ace. Love you. Jason says, Dipoto and Epler teams are in the playoffs. Yeah, go figure. Go figure. That should tell you another thing about our ownership. Jim said, love when Suzuki came out and removed the pitcher. That was pretty cool, Jim. Mateo says, I wasn't supposed to be at the game today. I bought the tickets last minute. I bought them early this morning. That's pretty cool. At least you got to see another game. Mets fans are mad at Epler over his trade deadline moves. They're salty as fuck for not winning the division. Yeah, they blew that one, that's for sure, but at least they're in the postseason, and they're probably going to destroy the Padres. A says, I'm about to make my third payment for season tickets. There you go. I mean, she's all in. If Velasquez is still on the team next year, I probably won't watch, Alex said. I agree. If he's starting anywhere in the lineup, I'm not going to watch. No, well, I'm going to watch him. I'm just going to be yelling more at my TV. She really is her support for the charts. That would be Sonia, or is the best. This is going to be the mysterious and scary offseason, EQ says. Dylan says, thank you, Todd, Fernando, Randy, for pregame lives, postgame lives, post and podcasts, and also the Heedy family. Appreciate it, Dylan. We love all you guys that support us and gals out there. Also, if I forget any names, sorry. And if I see Sorrento, fuck the whole 2023 season, Alex says. Jim says, now that the season ended a half hour ago, we are tied for first in 2023 already. So optimistic right there. $46 for helmet nachos today. Damn, you must have got two of them. Ace says the Angels starting pitchers have the sixth best ERA. The bullpen, however, but you had some bright spots, Ace. I think I just don't agree with I think we would have won some games had Herget stayed in that closer role in this Oakland series. For some reason, he was taken out of it. I was in a bad mood the whole game, Mateo, and I hope he stayed cool up there. Shout out to you, Todd, and all of the Heedy family for doing the post games and trivias. Can't wait to see what you have cooking for next season. I appreciate it, Andrew. We do have some good stuff going up there for next season. And by the way, we're going to have a show tonight. And that's probably when we're going to do our giveaway and stuff like that. So tune in for that later on this evening. We will have if you get the notification, we're going to have some stuff to give away. Watch Artie pull the same shit he did with Torrey Hunter. Ooh, I hope not, Rob. Let's see. Also, Mateo says, Todd, I'm going to try to come down to a game next year. I hope you do, man. We'll hang out and you can come to one of our barbecues and tailgates. Tell Tani he can't pay him to sign Judge $40 million a year, which he's talking about getting Judge. And Judge is I'm telling you, overrated as hell. 62 home runs, one-dimensional guy. He can't pitch. I'm disappointed I did not see the Trash Pandas. They were exciting at their stadium. Yeah, if you can find a way to see them online, dude, I'm telling you, they are a fun team to watch. They were great to watch, this team. Randy says, shout out to everyone who helped me get to the tailgate. Bad financial year for me. So much appreciated. And huge shout out to Rob and a Nats fan, which would be Sonia. Love you guys. Jim says, you're absolutely right. They have nothing to cheer about, but Stephen Voigt was it. They acted today like it was the Mike Trout. Yeah, it's right. Todd, you didn't hear my comment or read my comment right. My bad, EQ. Rewrite it because some of this stuff comes jumbled. My bad, dude. Leaf says, Randy, in the words of Jim Calhoun, my best advice to you, shut up. Oh, shit. We need to make a stadium edible food now for a lot of the you need to have some edibles at the stadium to enjoy the food, basically, Grillmaster says, because edibles make everything taste good. Real quick, there's an opportunity and a chance. Randy floated it by me. I've had this floated by me in the offs during the season as well by others. Because of the program I'm using, if I can't get a better program for next season, I might go exclusively to YouTube. So if you guys are willing to follow on YouTube, that's probably what I'm leaning towards right now. Just doing YouTube. We don't know if that's gonna if it's gonna work that way, but for right now, I'm going to try to tweak it in the off season because like Randy said, he's shown all these other streams that worked out. They're not pixelated. I've gotten the Minecraft thing all year. It's pretty goddamn annoying, and it's embarrassing when you're trying to do something right, when you're trying to do something legit, because for the most part, I feel like I'm not giving my best when it's doing that shit. And at first, I thought it was the internet. I had internet guys come here, try to fix things, and I got the top speed, I got the top program, but I think it's something with Lula trying to put all the programs together to get out to all the different social medias, and I think that's the problem. And if I can't find a program that works for Instagram as well, because the only other one I know of was Yellow Duck. I haven't really dabbled too much with Streamlabs, but yeah, that's been the problem. And if that doesn't get fixed, then I think we're going to primarily go over to YouTube. It's going to suffer at first because not a lot of people will catch on right away. Maybe if we broadcast the shit out of it or post a lot about it, maybe we can get everyone to come over. But that's where I'm looking at right now. We might be headed over to YouTube primarily next year for the off season or for the post game shows at least. Todd's Tailgate, Carne Asada Tacos, best the hot dogs in the stadium any day of the week. Thank you so much, Jim, and thank you for coming out to the tailgate. Adosa Dilla says it was a blessing finding this page this season. Best Angels content out there. Special shout out to Todd Fox. You are the man. Stay blessed. Ride or die. Angels for life. Thank you so much, Dosa Dilla. And we're the same way here. We love this team. We sometimes get crucified by other pages because they're like, oh, they're too critical. They don't suck off Artie, or they don't kiss someone's ass. It's like, it's because we're real fans. We're there upset throwing stuff at the TV too. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit there and say it's always sunshine and lollipops. And I'm not like some of these other podcasts that the Angels have had where they shut down for the year early, unless you're a podcast like Super Halo Brothers, who are over on Locked On Halos. That's the only other one I would promote and say, hey man, these guys do their due diligence. They're freaking awesome, and those guys are ride or die Angel fans too. So if you like our content, check them out too. They're ride or die. They're there every game. So big props to the Super Halo Brothers and Locked On Halos, because they do a really good job. Is there trivia right now? There is going to be trivia, but it's going to be later on, because I think I'm going to do it once we go live. I think with the rest of the guys, we're going to do an end of the year show. So look forward to that. If you guys want to tune into that later on, we're going to have a lot of trivia set up for that show. Angel's grandma says, my granddaughter Victory is born 9/24/2022. It would have been nice to see Victory today in honor of my granddaughter. Oh, congratulations, Angel's grandma. I didn't know you had another granddaughter born there. And you know what? Maybe next year's her year, because my grandbabies didn't get the postseason as well. Hi, my name says, I hope they extend Velasquez. That's such a comment. One of the real ones, solid guy. Happy you made it down here. Rob says that to our boy Randy. I don't know why I blanked on Randy's name. Josh says, remember those fucking honks during that 4-game losing streak? Guess what honks? Karma is a bitch. It sure is. I literally called Trout's home run today, Mateo says. Randy says, I'm getting Todd and Aaron Judge Fresno State jersey. Oh, God. An A's fan asked me why wasn't I clapping for Vaught and when he hit the home run. It's because you don't know him. You know what I mean? 10/5/22, she was born on, or was she born 9/24 last month? And yeah, Randy says, bitch, please. You're named after vegetation. Oh, jeez, going to leave them going back and forth. Heedy Tempe spring training meetup. Yes, Jason. Jason. We got to set something up in the off season here. I'm gonna definitely be out there for the World Baseball Classic, Angels versus the American team, and so hopefully that entire week I can take off and we can meet up with some fans out there in Tempe, because I really intend to be out there this season. I missed it this season, but I will be back next season. Anthony Gonzalez says, appreciate the Heedy team for another great year. Enjoyed the shows. We enjoyed you too, Anthony Gonzalez, and appreciate your fandom. Is another super fan right there. Mateo says, the A's fan was so mad I told him it's just a home run and that's nothing big. Way to go, Mateo. So far today is good with quality. Yeah, but it has done some Minecraft. Did you set a wedding date, Anthony Gonzalez? Right now, we were tentatively going for actually early or late February, but that was too early, and fans want to, not fans. Family wants to come in from other states and countries So it looks like we're shooting for next year around this time. So it's going to be next September. It looks like that's when we're going to do the whole the wedding date. So thank you for asking right there. Also, Hi, my name says, thanks for having this channel. So I've had some comfort after this horrible season. Cheers, Todd. Cheers to you, my friend. Hi, my name is. Also, Martin says, Todd, look forward to hanging out with, at a few games next season with you and Randy. Hopefully Squiddy Poo is in the lineup at the games we go to. No, Martin, I was with you until you said that. Trust me, guys, the YouTube presentation is much better. Your comments will never be highlighted or always be highlighted on the screen. It's a way better experience. And yeah, Randy's been, like I said, Randy didn't plant the seed, but because a couple other people told me that earlier in the year, but Randy's definitely starting to convince me. He brought up some really good points when he was messaging me yesterday, and I was like, you know what, dude, it might just be better to go that way. There's cleaner ways I could do the presentation as well, so that might be the way. So if you guys don't mind going over to YouTube, I really would like to simulcast. Believe me, when this thing actually does work, I don't get cut off. I've never had a problem with the YouTube format. It's always been trying to link all of it together and get Instagram to because right now I'm Minecrafting and it sucks. It's embarrassing because, again, people will judge you by the quality, not by the content sometimes. So if you got some so even if I'm spitting facts and everyone agrees, a lot of people will tune out because they can't see me or I look like I'm in the witness protection program. That's what it looks like. It looks like I'm like, hey, you know what? I know who killed the guy down the street, but you got to disguise my face. That's what it looks like, and it's embarrassing. So I hope I could change it for next season. Also, let's see. At the start of next season, we're going to be great and coming back in late games. That was something we didn't see either this year, Mateo, there was not that comeback. The Rally Monkey was as dead as fuck this year. Dylan says, laugh out loud, fuck those rocks or whatever they're called. Oh, I met the Super Halo dudes. Yes, they're cool guys. Exactly. Rob says, what time is the end of the year show? It looks like between 7 and 7:30 this evening. It looks like we're going to get on and do that here on the page. Who wants a toaster in the tub? I'm giving away free pills if needed to, so Grillmaster's setting us up. Swamp Vermin says, I think the new owner should demolish my high school and put a new stadium there. Where's your high school at? Carlos says, we need to give Loop a 10-year deal. He's the best pitcher of all time. No. Mateo said the same thing he said last year, which I feel very sad for him. He said, I want postseason baseball. I think I deserve it. You sure do. Grillmaster says we should be the Arizona Coyotes and play our games in a 5,000-seat stadium. Anthony Gonzalez says, tell Papa Fox thanks for his show contributions. I got to get him on one more time, too. I'm easily forgettable, I guess. Oh, shut up, Randy. The Angels haven't been to the playoffs almost half my life, Swamp Vermin says. So, yeah, if you're 16 right now, I'm doing the math. If you're 16, 17, that's a whole generation that hasn't seen him. Rally Chris also says, let's go Blue Jays this week, beat the Mariners, and then fucking wanker can go home. Carlos says, no, for real, though. Hated the way we ended the way the season ended. We needed something to go off of for next year momentum. I don't know why, but I have hope for this team, and there's a good group of players, and but we don't need to do so much changes. I agree, Carlos. There's not too much tweaking we have to do to this team going into next year. There really isn't. Like I said, sign Ohtani, get one more stand-up starter to fill out that six-man rotation. You got a bunch of good starters in the wings coming through AAA and AA, and you just got to fix that bench, and you got to put a good couple complementary pieces in that lineup, and you should be ready to roll. Also, I've never been to a spring training game. Is it fun? It actually is. You can get autographs easy. You're right there. It's great seats no matter where you sit. It's pretty fun. EQ says Angels versus American team. What the fuck? Yeah, they play a warm-up for the World Baseball Classic on a Wednesday. It's Angels and versus. So you're going to see Trout take on his own team. Leaf says, vegetation? There's no A in my name, Randy. Come on, man. Yep, I can't wait to go to a couple games next year with you and Rally Chris. Thank you so much, Mountain Dew King. I was only 2 when they won the World Series, Dylan says. Landon says Stassi is gone next year, and Ohapi and Wallach replaces Stassi and Suzuki. Well, Wallach is on a 1-year deal. They would have to do what Grillmaster says in DFA Stassi. He's signed for another year or two, so that's the problem there. I would love to see him as a backup, though, not a starter. While the Angels had 7-game winning streak just to get swept by Oakland to end the season, no surprise. Congratulations on your engagement. Thank you, Dylan. Swamp says DFA Moreno. Jim says, for all those who complain about the Angels Stadium, go to Oakland one time. It's a toilet bowl. It is. It is a disgusting stadium. Let's see. Also, dude, those drums and soccer horns gave me a headache. Oh, by the way, Mountain Dew King, Steve Elise. And Grillmaster says, if Stassi wanted to be a statue, we should reincarnate Medusa and have her turn him into one. Let's see. Rob says, Todd, some advice on the wedding. Don't do it. Just kidding. My wife are happy for you as well. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Will Nevin be back next year? Do we have another brawl? Well, he just got signed back, Mateo, to a 1-year deal. Randy agrees. Let's see. Also, Ace says, gentlemen, Jim, the bathroom there suck and didn't work. So if it doesn't work for the women up in Oakland, damn. Speaking of a comeback, how about those Jets, baby? Taking games from suckers. Laugh out loud, breaking fool souls. Yeah, Jets got off to 2-2 against that Central. I want Artie Moreno for head coach. Oh, God. Todd always tells me to shut up. You should see our DM's borderline teammate abuse. This guy. Dude, come on, man. Come on. This guy's always trying to throw me under the bus. Swamp says, heard Artie is going to switch to football and buy the Seahawks. Kill me now if that happens. We can let Duffy go, right? Martin says, yes, we can. Also, Mateo says, watch the stupid Dodgers get knocked out in the first round. Well, yeah, I think they're going out in the divisional. I really do. I really do. Andrew says, do you think the Angels will go for a good shortstop? I don't think so now. I think high priority is going to be the Dansby Swanson, they would have went for him. But priority number 1 is Ohtani, and priority number 2, I think when you got Soto and Soto came on, he kind of gets your head thinking a little bit that you have Fletcher and you have Soto now. So maybe if Soto can redo what he did this year to end the season, he's not going to hit 400. But if he can give you about 289 and some really good production and steal some bases, there's no need to go out and overspend on a shortstop. There really isn't. Josh says, plus new fucking coaches and owner. That's what we need. I agree. I've always wanted to go to spring training, but I can't afford it. Well, maybe we'll do something for you this offseason. We got to get a crew out there at least. At least the World Cup is coming next month. Dylan says they are due to many teams. I really hate the playoffs. Fuck. Dodgers, obviously, Yankees, Astros, and Mariners, and yeah, they're there. All those teams were not. Andrew Rio says, I'd like to get Dansby, but my team would be Trey Turner. Seems like they're going to have to spend, though, so I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening either, but Trey Turner would be the only one I would break the bank for, too. Why isn't Ohtani playing for Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic? It's up to him. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to, really. Totally unrelated, but all my angel balls finally dropped. Woohoo. Now I don't have to pay for exploratory surgery. All right. Congratulations, Sonia. Hi, my name is, they need a decent shortstop that can fucking get a hit and make some routine plays. Stassi needs to go along with Adele. Those could be there too. Oakland Stadium is shit. Bathrooms are dirty and they have no soap and the ushers aren't nice. Their bathroom is so bad. Trough urinals. Also, Jets will never win a Super Bowl. They never did good enough, Landon said. The only thing missing is rainbow stickers. Oh, man. Hey, Randy, if Brady was still in New England and a little bit better, you'd be scared. I agree. See, Brady is a Jets daddy. Oh, my God. Tyson says, at least the Niners beat the Sea Chickens this year. I'm so happy. Shut up, Tyson. I was there. I suffered. You know, I suffered in that stadium watching in the rain. And it's about time you guys beat us. Because we had your number there for 7 straight games. Was never scared of Brady. He just pissed me off, Randy says. Tom Brady will retire. Yeah, he's going to retire this year, and Tampa's going to be a dumpster fire when he leaves. EQ says, we just need to get Wade and Squid back, and we'll be starting good again. No, we won't. If you guys want to call in right now, the number is 714-598-3221. I'll take a couple phone calls before we get out of here. Trout was reported saying today that Ohtani is playing for Japan in the world. Oh, he is. Okay. Now, see, that's going to be cool. That's going to be really cool. It's the Halo Honk line.
It's the Mariner Maniac line.
What's up, Leaf? How's it going?
Doing good. One again. I think we took 3 or 4 from the offensively depleted Tigers.
Hey, so you finished the season on a high note, and then you get to go in the postseason. Not bad.
Yeah, I think we got 90 wins this season.
I'm a little bit confused because our season usually ends in October. So, 90 wins for the Mariners. Were you expecting this at all?
I was definitely hopeful at the beginning of the season. I think when we started like 29, 39, again, I'd say I think it's going to be another one of those years again, where it's like general disappointment, the team blowing it up, whatnot. And then a 14-game winning streak happened.
Yeah, that came out
and then
of nowhere.
we just rode the momentum of chaos ball.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick though, Leaf, I'm laughing at the comments because the fans are showing you a lot of love right now.
Oh boy, I bet they are. Oh man, I've said this. I am public enemy number 1 on this channel.
Exactly. I mean, look, I I just love the fact though, and you got some respect from a couple fans the other day. You've been on the show all year as a Mariner fan. Like, you still haven't told me how you found us, but the fact that
I think I did actually.
Oh, you did? How
yeah, I found you guys from. I think I told you. I found you guys from the interview that you did with the urinating tree.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay. But yeah, you know what? Like, I'll tell you this, man. Despite the comments and the love that you're getting on this page, I will give you credit for hanging in there all year. A lot of other softies wouldn't have been able to do it. And you took your crap and you gave it right back. And you know what? Right now, unfortunately, I hate saying it, but you've had the last laugh because your M's are in the postseason. So I got to give you props that way.
I did see that tweet, though, about the guy doing the GIF of the guys dancing around. So it's like, you know what? If we get them in the 4th game, I'm going to retweet that, and I'm going to get you guys.
There you go. Well, props, man, and don't forget to call in Leaf for later, because I mean, again, dude, you could win something tonight. I was trying to send you something earlier in the year, but you never got back to me on that. But appreciate your generosity.
Yeah, I was trying to get. I think that was the hat when you were talking about the Channel Park Tim Belcher incident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I tried to get to you guys on Instagram, but for whatever reason, the DM wouldn't go through the Halos in the Infield page.
Oh,
so
that's right.
I don't understand that.
But like I said, man, we'll have. I know I got to see if I can get some Mariners gear. Maybe I'll get you a hat or something and send it up your way.
Yeah.
So,
maybe Luis Soho or something.
There you go. But try it again. Try to send me your information again. We'll hook something up because I got to give you props for hanging in there all year, my man.
Yeah, especially considering that there was a massive brawl in the middle of the season.
Exactly.
That I think was the big one.
That didn't help, man. I mean, you were already enemy number 1, but when that took off, yeah.
Oh boy.
Exactly. All right, my man. Well, you have a good rest of your day, man, and we'll see what happens with your M's up in Toronto.
Yeah, definitely hopeful. It could go out of the way.
There you go. All right, brother.
All right. Take care.
Take it. All right, later. That's Leaf right there. He hung in there all year. Get him a Harold Reynolds jersey, Jason said. He said Leaf is like a Dodgers fan at Angels Stadium. Time's up, Leaf, Martin says. Everyone's just grilling this dude. Jeez. Look, I give Leaf props for hanging in there. You got to give him props. Anthony says no one cares, Queef. Oh, jeez. Be nice. Be nice. But yeah, if you guys want to call in again, final calls here for the show for today, 714-58. Well, there you go, right there. It's the Halo Honk line.
Get the fuck off the line, Leaf. Get the fuck out. Fuck.
Is this EQ?
Do I want to see a Dodgers fan at the Angel Stadium? No. I will blow your shit up. Fuck.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
you not You not guys? Do you guys not have podcasts or what? Like you guys, sorry losers, you guys don't have podcasts. I'm pretty sure you guys don't. I'm pretty sure you guys don't even have a locked in, freaking Mariners. I'm pretty sure not. That's why you come to freaking the Heedy fam. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's why you come.
That could be it too, dude. I don't know if they have a Mariners podcast or too many of them up there at least.
Well, I don't think there are many Mariners fans, anyways.
Well, there's gonna be if they return home, but the thing is, with this new format, they could get screwed if Toronto beats them. They don't even have a home game for the postseason, so that kind of sucks for them anyway.
Yeah, well, Voody's gonna sweep them 2 out of 3. They're gonna win 2 games. That's it. That's all you need.
Yep. And by the way,
Compared
EQ, real quick, I want to say something. A shout out to you and Randy for when we went to the tailgate. These are if you get a chance to go to a game with these two guys and they're anywhere close to the field, they're gonna make themselves known and they're gonna talk a lot of shit and it's very entertaining. So I got to give you guys props, man. That was a fun game.
That was it was a small ball game too. Like remember how we told Luke, hey, you better fucking do good. You better fucking show up.
He glanced over.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, man. That was pretty funny.
And then freaking to the point where Wanker, he was just looking at it.
Oh yeah, he kept staring
Remember?
back at you and Randy. Yep.
And I told Wanker, you want to fight Rendon? He's right here. Because he was wearing.
Well, it's classic when Randy put up his hands. He's like, "Come on, bitch, let's go!" And he's like shouting to him, and Winker's looking right at him, dude. I was like, "Holy crap!" He's like daring him to come into the stands. And even the freaking usher that was right there, that usually you would have an usher be like, "Hey, man, sit down, shut up," you know. It's like the usher was just laughing. You know, it was freaking funny, dude.
The police officers, the security, they're all laughing, dude, to the point where we had a whole, like that group we were at, like the whole, where we were sitting at, everyone was like chanting, "You suck, Winker," you know, like people were saying something about Winker.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That day I lost my voice really bad.
Well, yeah, I can't believe anyone kept their voice after that. I mean, it was pretty funny, dude.
I kind of felt bad because I was sitting next to your son.
Oh,
I was.
No, he had fun. He wanted to sit up there with you guys, so he was shouting some stuff too. I was just telling him, "Don't cuss, man. Don't cuss."
He was like, "Stop yelling." I'm like, "I can't. I don't like that guy. I don't like Wanker. I hate. Like, why do you hate him? Because he hit Rendon. You don't hit Rendon."
Exactly. Rendon hits himself. He injures himself. You don't injure him.
But shout out to Rendon with the left hook.
Yeah. That's about the only time he showed up this year. As he did the two best things he did this year was hit a left-handed home run and hit Wanker in the face with his left arm. That's the best things he did.
Yeah, no, that overall that day was fun. It was me first meeting you guys. I went by myself. I didn't really expect anything. I was just, but at the end we had a good time, and I ended up getting a little. I drank a little bit. A little bit of water. So.
Dude, you were hammered. Stop it. You stop it.
A little bit of water. So. It was fun, though.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, man. You have to enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Hopefully next year and stuff, or maybe this spring training or whatever.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. One thing I wanted to get on is that the A's. I was watching like on the stream. The A's announcers, like I was watching the A side, and then they're saying that the players of the Angels, they're good, they're all good, but the thing, the management does not know how to use them, and they said it on live. I was pretty surprised at how they said it. I was like, what the fuck, like how, like they even say it, and I think I heard other announcers say it too, like in other teams, and I'm pretty surprised that a lot of people know it, but our management doesn't know it.
No, I agree. I've had an opportunity with that app seeing a lot of road games too, and you'll have some guys that are just brutally honest, and they're brutally honest. Like you could glare. I mean, the problems are glaring. You can tell that a normal hitting coach, a good hitting coach, would have had this team fixed at some point. You don't go 3 months without being able to score more than 2 runs a game. So that was obvious, and if those guys come back, it's a greater train robbery than anything I've ever seen as far as money from an organization. Reed and Sorrento need to be fired. I mean, they need to be fired. Like, as soon as they land here in Anaheim, they need to be fired. It's
like for example, like the Braves, they kind of fell off, but they came back. They fucked up the Braves. I mean, the Mets, and then the Yankees fell off too, and then they came back. A lot of teams like that, like Mariners, whatever. But the Angels, oh my gosh, it's out of the resources.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's out of the dictionary.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I'll be later on to your trivia, and then you get some other callers in.
Okay, bro.
Man.
You got it, man. Take it easy. That's EQ right there. So we'll take probably like one or two more phone calls before I get out of here, and then we'll set up for later at the show. You know, we'll get the show going. We'll have trivia and all that good stuff to come up here later. Catella Chronicles says, cheers to you, Todd. We are here at Catella Chronicles are so happy that us and Heedy got together and the highs and the lows of the season together. That is Dominique. By the way, check out their Ducks content. They got a lot of great content, and we're looking to probably partner with them on this page. Damn, here come the phone calls. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hi, this is Ace from Irvine High School, home of the toothpicks.
Home of the toothpicks. What is up, Ace? How you doing?
I was just putting a wrap on the season on Sunday, and I was saying goodbye to everybody. I was saying goodbye to Michael Lorenzen's mom, of all people. Man, she is chatty, and she is so proud of her son. It's those kinds of moments I'm going to miss about this year. And being a season ticket holder, that connection. And we even got to talk to the pitcher's family for the A's, and I'm sorry, for Texas. And even though he got lit up, it was nice to talk to his little sister and how much he sees him as his hero because of all the stuff he went through. I didn't realize he had a really bad injury to his pitching arm, and she was talking about it, and you're like, wow, this guy made it to the bigs within 2 years from that huge injury. And the people connection. I still look for Raisel Iglesias, his two sons, to come down, running down to my right side and yelling at their dad, but they just haven't come back yet.
No.
So, no. And I'm sorry I missed the tailgate, but I know the two ushers in 102 and 101, to Charlie and to Alan. Apparently you're the guys who kept yelling effing wanker,
yeah,
stupid wanker. And I had no idea that was you guys he was referring to. I remember them talking about you guys never shutting the F up and seeing all the beer cans and all the empty cups of alcohol in that area. They were telling me that you guys had big mouths, but they probably thought you were chicken.
No, we were partying, and we actually talked with the Mariners backup catcher, and he was mad. He started going back and forth with EQ, and he told them to shut the F up. And then I was like, hey, man, I go, how long has it been since you guys went to the playoffs? Because he tried to say, well, we're going to be in the playoffs, and you're not. And I said, it's been a 21-year drought. And then he goes, yeah, whatever, we're making the playoffs. I'm like, dude, you weren't even born when they made the playoffs because it's some young kid.
Oh.
And he just like shut up and he walked back into the dugout or to the pitching area. So, I mean, it was fun. We were pretty loud. I was waiting to get, the whole tap on the shoulder thing, but it never happened. So.
Well, the funny part is I'm friends with Fleming Baez, and he's like the main bullpen catcher for the Mariners for the last 12 years, and I'm good friends with him. So I just don't know what you guys were egging him on.
No, we didn't.
I'm
we didn't
definitely
mess
going
with
to
the
miss the
coach.
people.
Yeah, and that's a good
and
thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's cool. I want to give a shout out to Zach Weiss's dad because I don't know if you know the backstory of Zach Weiss. He had a 9.99 ERA. He was the number one pitching prospect in all of 2018. Did not make it out of the first inning with the Rays in his only start. And then he comes back with the Angels, finally gets his ERA under 9.999. So I feel so happy for him. And his dad was talking about how he actually went into like a dark mode in his life right after that outing. And you have no idea what people go through outside of the baseball field.
Absolutely.
So,
that stuff gets left out sometimes, right?
Yeah, just hearing that he went through this dark period, man, it's like it like busted him as a human being. And the only other time I've heard stories like that is when somebody's like really depressed So, and I'm just glad he was able to like take care of business and kept believing in himself and pulled himself up by the bootstraps. And his dad and his family was really there for him the whole time. And he went through, and how the Reds never gave him a second chance and they just kind of gave up on him. And I'm so glad the Angels picked him up, and he's happy as a clam. Zach Weiss is like a happy human being and happy to be at anywhere pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just great to see the light in his eyes come back. Even his dad said, yeah, he's happy and everything, and his soul is lighter. And that's all you want for anybody coming to the bigs. I don't care if your team's in last place or in first place fighting for a playoff spot. When these guys make it to the bigs, it's a big deal to them. And I know they might not be winning, but watching, I remember watching Jose Quijada come from Arkansas and then being a throwaway piece from the Marlins, and watching him make it to the bigs now and being all better. And people get better. It's just, you gotta, just because they might suck right now, they're human beings. We are human beings. We suck at our own jobs sometimes, and sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have bad days. And I'm totally going to have that withdrawal part of talking to the people and seeing and hearing their stories and meeting some of the fellow infielders, which is cool. Shout out to Angel's grandma.
Exactly.
And hearing everybody's backstory. Yes. And I do want to clarify one thing. This is the most common question I get asked on my Instagram is, how come why do I use ACE? And for me, using ACE is a gender neutral term, because when I talk about baseball, if you follow me on Baseball Savants, we talk way too much about what to throw in a 3-2 count if you have this pitch working, if you have rain, or if we get really into it. Today, I was wondering why Ohtani threw a 3 or a 3-2 slider inside to somebody who really likes inside fastballs. But and that broke up his no-hitter. So, I could tell you all the details about it, but, I don't want to bore you guys to death.
No, I mean,
still cheer for this team.
Well, absolutely.
Every time. So.
But you've broken it down before, and the fans like it because, you go into detail, which is something that sometimes we don't see our own coaches doing. So it's good to hear, and we love you out there, Ace. The fans, if you haven't met Ace yet, she's wonderful. She talks baseball all day. I mean, you could have some great conversations with her, and you could always catch her banging on that fence next to the bullpen area and making the noise when the Angels are trying to come back. So that's awesome that she does that too. But yeah, thanks for calling in, Ace, and we still want you on a pod. We got to make that happen here soon before the season starts.
And I would like to fire Tim Buss, Paul Sorrento, and Jeremy Reed for sure, our 3 hitting coaches. I look at what's happening to Brandon Marsh, and I'm like going, dude, maybe he doesn't need a leg kick. Maybe he doesn't need a lower body starter.
Yep. And I got a story about that I'm going to tell later on in the show. That the reason why I'm so mad with Squiddy Poo and the hitting coaches, it relates to me in a selfish way. So I'll bring that story out later. But all right, Ace, you have a good rest.
Get rid of Squid's toe tap. Oh my God, the toe tap on Squid was awful.
It was, and he looked a little bit different though when he went right-handed exclusive though. I'll say that.
The toe tap. I'm like, talk about slowing down your hitting. Awful.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'll call in on your quiz show.
All right, you got it, Ace. We'll talk to you later.
Take care. Cheers.
All right, that's Ace right there. It's the Halo Honk line.
What up, Todd?
What's going on?
Man, what a way to end the season, with the loss. But I mean, hey, it's all something that we're all used to by now, something that we wish we didn't have to get used to, a playoff drought for another year. But as the season comes to a close, we saw a lot as fans. From the past couple of years, the only thing we probably saw was pitching for the past couple of years. We need pitching. We need someone to come up in here in the bullpen or the rotation to help us out. And now this year, it was more than one thing. We could say it was the hitting, but it goes deeper into that. There's so much that will have to come along this offseason that, is going to have to benefit us as a team and as hitters as well to basically help us push for that trip to October, basically.
Yeah, there's going to be some tweaks. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a reconstruction of this roster or this team per se. I just think they just need to add some pieces, and Ohtani's the biggest piece they got to add. Real quick before I get into your comments, real quick. I just want to say hi to Super Halo Brothers if they're still on there. they checked in, and I want to encourage everyone not only to check out our podcast, but check theirs out. There's this phenomenal over there on Locked On Angels Baseball, and also go to their page, give them a follow, Super Halo Brothers. They're probably the most legit podcast besides ours. I think they do a hell of a job. As you know, they're really, really good. So we listen to them, and I know they listen to us. So big props to Super Halo Brothers. But to get back to your point, though, you know, Ohtani and a few other pieces like I was talking about earlier, I don't know if you caught it, they don't need too much on the rotation. They're pitching, you know, they're obviously going to need a closer, maybe one more setup guy, but those guys are, you know, you can get them for a fair amount of money. It's locking up Ohtani. It's maybe adding one more piece to the starting lineup and then filling out that bench.
Yeah, and it's especially now since Ohtani decided, you know, I'm going to give this team another shot next year, you know, that all comes down to the player itself. You know, everyone thinks that, okay, this guy's going to give him the money, he'll stay, but it all comes down to the player himself. Does he really want to agree to that term? Or because Ohtani could have easily taken free agency next year. He could have gone into the 2023 season as a free agent, you know, picked up like millions and millions of dollars offer to play for a contender. You know, he sees something, like as fans as well, we see something in this team that he sees as well. Wanting to get one more year, you know, everyone's thinking that it's Ohtani's, you know what, this is my year. This next year is what I want to show. You know, I didn't get a big contract, but that's what I want to earn for. You know, I want to be able to show that I'm earning for my contract instead of just signing me because I'm one of the biggest names in the MLB.
Yeah, and he's proven it. I mean, right now you're going to see the narrative, oh, judge this, judge that, judge that. A true baseball fan will realize, even if they're not an Angel fan, that they're a Texas Ranger fan, if they're a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, a true baseball fan will realize that Shohei Ohtani, like you said, is the best player in baseball. And right now, again, what a lot of us have said on our podcast as well, Super Halo Brothers, you didn't want to let Ohtani go to arbitration. You didn't want to say, hey, you know what? Because in arbitration, you have to tear the person down. You have to say, well, Ohtani doesn't really do this right or doesn't do that right. And you know, you got to bring down the price. But the Angels in good faith gave him $30 million. And now you have exclusive rights to go after this dude and give him the basically back the Brinks trucks up to where he lives and say, hey, here you go. Be with us. Be our guy for the coming years. And why not? You know, this isn't a 1-year thing that he's done. I think he could have did this the first couple years of his career because he just had some injuries. But once he got past that, you know, with that whole surgery on his arm, he still that 1 year didn't pitch, but he hit a lot of home runs. And in the last 2 seasons, no one's been better. So it's a crime if he's not the MVP again this year.
Yeah, and I saw on, I believe it was Twitter, Marcus Stroman tweeted out saying he was on the favoritism for Judge to win the MVP. He was saying some stuff about Ohtani, saying he doesn't deserve it. And funny enough, one of Judge's teammates, Matt Carpenter, put the throwing up emoji, meaning he didn't like that take. You know, I think Matt Carpenter knows Judge might have broken an AL record in the most home runs in a single season and all that. But I was on Twitter earlier and I was having a argument with someone because they were saying that Ohtani might have a good year this year, but Judge has had the most home runs and going into the postseason. And what I told them was, you might see Judge have 62 home runs. Ohtani might end the season with he ended the season with like 30-ish home runs.
Yeah, I think it was like 36 or something.
And then so you also got to take a point that he broke basically so much history in this 1 year. You know, he doubled what he did last year, you know, minus the home runs, but he basically doubled what he did last year and was even better. You know, and this goes to show, like, this guy had so much pressure on him last year or this coming up season with he's the reigning MVP. Will he do what he did last year? And he's that guy that you can see coming into next year that he's that guy. He's going to forget all the attention. He's going to forget what's resting on his shoulders. He's going to stay locked in and focused. Like that game when he almost had the no-hitter and it got broken up, he told, I think it was a Hoppier Stats that I was catching him. He told him, hey, we got to lock in. We got the game to go. It's all right. That's one blown inning. It's fine. I didn't get the no-hitter. I have many more to come in my career.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of player you want, right? You want an unselfish guy who's not going to be throwing a tantrum because he gave up a hit. So I agree. I think what it comes down to for next season or for this call on the MVP, I mean, if Judge wins it, he's going to win it just barely. And I think the thing that could have put Ohtani over the top no matter who it was against. Getting that no-hitter, I think Judge gets erased from anyone's mouth as far as being the MVP. Unfortunately, the writers are so biased, it would have took a no-hitter with everything that he's done together to get that MVP straight up. That's the problem I have. You got to look at –
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you just got to look at his resume and see that he won an MVP with a higher ERA last year with, he hit a few more home runs. His average was a little bit better, but his strikeouts weren't this good. His innings pitched weren't that good. He's gotten, I think he had a higher on-base percentage this year despite the average going down. He just had a phenomenal season. He was carrying this team. And a lot of those games he won is because he got those doubles or home runs to drive in his own runs. So he's had a way better season this year, and it's just a shame that they're all looking over that and they're saying, hey, it's freaking Judge. Why not? Yankees.
Yeah, and so you guys, the writers need to realize, yeah, cool, Judge hit 62 home runs. Like, when will we ever see that again? Maybe not for a while, maybe not for a couple decades, or, but it's like you also got to think, when will we ever see a man like this, like Ohtani? Like, when is this going to ever happen again? A two-way player who can't bounce back from injuries that set him back, pitching-wise, hitting-wise. When are we going to see this from another guy? Judge is one of those players that you can get one kid from now to rake and build up his legacy, get 63, 62 home runs or get 60 home runs in a season.
Mm-hmm.
But the writers need to realize Ohtani is a once-in-a-generation player, a player that we got lucky enough to land in our generation, our time. A player that we're able to watch and see and play, pitch, and win all these awards because he has that work ethic. He's that type of kid that will show anyone wrong. Don't ever doubt the Ohtani.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting off season, and he's gonna get a record deal, and we'll have to, as Angel fans, be like, hey, it is what it is. We're gonna have two monster contracts in that lineup. Now, again, so far we failed Trout. So we'll have to see if now moving forward, if we don't fail Ohtani, if we can actually bring these guys to the postseason.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping next year, that we show Ohtani and Trout that we wanted them here for a reason. We want to keep them here for a reason. And it's just not it's not going to be all about, we have two of the best players. That's all we want. We want two of the best players who have the work ethic to show that the fans in Anaheim that we want to get to October. We want to bring you guys this excitement, even if we go 3-0 in the wild card. At least we got the fans a little taste of what is going to come these next few years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, my man. Well, hopefully you're on the show for later on today too, man. We're going to get to a lot more there. So have a good one, Abraham.
You too. Take care, Todd.
All right. Later. I'll have one more phone call ready to go because I got one more thing to do to prep for later. And, so we'll take one more phone call here. The Angels have $105 million tied up on Ohtani and Trout and Rendon next year. So that's before. I don't think that the $30 million will count against next year. Whatever he gets in an extension will count against the year afterwards. So here's the final phone call for right here. Anthony says, let's try shorter calls for next year, 2 minutes. I think so. We'll do that. It's the Halo Honk line.
What up, Todd Fox? How you doing?
What's up, Jesus? How you doing, my man?
Good. I was just watching the Angel highlights in the game.
And what did you think, man? How did you think they went out this year?
I mean, this year, they would have done better without the injuries, but they always had the injuries.
Yeah, that's true. It's just what do you call it? It depends if we can get the hitting. I think we have a lot of good pitching. That's not going to be a problem. I know I've re-said this a lot, but it's just the hitting needs to come through. We need to have better situational hitting, more bunts, hit and runs, and no more strikeouts. I mean, we led the league in strikeouts. That's terrible.
Yeah. it's terrible leading the league in strikeouts. But I mean, I still don't. I still have hiccups on the 1-year deal extension for the Angels manager Phil Nevin.
What do you feel about that? Do you think he's the right guy, or you think it's a guy that's just, he should have been like a bench coach?
To me, he should be just a bench coach. He's not there to be a manager.
Do you think that they actually looked at another manager and they were just like, there's not a guy out there we want right now? And because, I mean, it seemed like as soon as Trout said, hey, I like Nevin, I'd like for him to come back, the Angels made up their mind right there.
Yeah, but they were probably looking at somebody else. But I mean, they just told Nevin. They just gave Nevin that contract extension because of Trout. Trout wants him back.
Yeah. I think Trout has a lot more pull than we think. I guess if he said, I don't want those Hoffy hot dogs, I want something different, we'd have different hot dogs at the park too. I have a feeling whatever Trout says goes. So maybe I'm hoping Trout's telling what do you call it, management that he wants Ohtani back, because then they'll do it. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. He's probably going to tell the new GM that.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him the good arbitration money. I mean, that's a head start.
It is. I think if they would have let him go to arbitration, it would have been a bad thing. I think we would have only had him one more year, or at least to the deadline before we trade him. So I'm glad we got him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, go ahead.
Well, who knows? I mean, hopefully next season could be better, but I still don't have faith on Nevin. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, he hasn't given you enough sample size. I think, and then his lineup stuff, I don't know if it comes from up top, whether who to start and who not to. I just don't think Nevin's given his lineup that doesn't look like a lineup Nevin would do. He's an old school guy, and I don't know why we keep batting Trout and Ohtani number 2. I know the excuse is we need more at bats, but moving them down a spot's not going to kill them, So we'll just have to see moving forward. I'm not sold on Nevin either, but that's why he's getting a 1-year deal. If he sucks right away, they could fire him and justify it, So
true. Who could be the replacement if he's gone by next year?
I don't know. Like Anthony Gonzalez said on here, Bobby Valentine. When I saw him on the post game last year or at the start of the year, I thought for sure Bobby Valentine was going to get in there when Joe got fired, but no. I mean, Bobby would seem like a guy that I would like to be in there as a short-term dude because people respect him. But we'll have to see. Nevin won over that clubhouse, so we'll have to see what happens next year, my man. But
true.
Yeah, but hey, man, congratulations, your Eagles. They're 4-0, so you got to be happy.
I'm not an Eagles fan.
Oh, I thought you were an Eagles fan.
Nah, I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, Steelers fan. My bad. I knew it was something Pennsylvania. My bad.
No, you're talking about the other guy in the other guy in the.
Oh, Caesar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Caesar. My bad. I was thinking Caesar because I know one of you guys was a huge Eagles fan, so that was my bad. But no, all right, brother. But hey, hit us up later on the show, man.
All right, I will.
All right, brother.
The giveaways today, right?
Correct.
I mean the trivia.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll call you guys later.
All right, you got it, my man.
All right, take care.
All right, you too. Later.
All right.
All right, that's Jesus right there. Also, Juan checking in from Toronto says, Viva Los Angelitos and Viva Todd. Thank you, my man. Juan's another super fan. He's been with us since day one. Thank you, Todd, for an amazing work and a frustrating season. I wish it was the latter, Juan. I really do. Landon says, send Stassi to the Bees. Also, now Trout wants to be vocal. What happened during the season? Ace says, I do want Lorenzen back next year. I do too. Chandler says, always next year, guys. Exactly. Jason's still tooting the horn for Ron Washington. And imagine the Phillies win the World Series. Fucking Marsh gets a ring before Trout. And that would be also our Syndergaard. For the Angels offseason, who do you want to see the Angels bring back or get? Matt Bedingo says, I would like another corner outfielder to challenge Adele. I would like them not to spend too much money on an infielder if they don't have to, because I would give Soto a shot, especially in spring training. Maybe get a guy to push him, fill that bench. I would like another legit starter in that rotation, because you're going to have another 6-man rotation with Ohtani there. And then bring up one of the kids to challenge for that 6th spot. Have that be a revolving door, so that, you can find who's going to be that guy to lock it down. Is it going to be Diaz? Is it going to be Silseth? Is it going to be Bush? Is it going to be Bachman? You have a lot to choose from in that 6th spot. And then you're forgetting about Rodriguez coming back. You got whether they keep Canning. So you've got a lot of starting pitchers. I don't think the rotation is going to be too much of a problem. I would bring Lorenzen back either as a starter or as a mid-relief guy. So you have a lot of options. Jaime will be back. It's just, what are they going to do with that bench, and what are they going to do with the closing spot too? Anthony says Herget for closer, but we'll see. The answer for the trivia questions tonight is 2014. Whatever. Landon says they want Marsh and Syndergaard to come back. Dude, Philly, Landon, I hate to break it to you, but they know what they got in Marsh and Philly, and they're not going to get rid of him. And we didn't know what we had. We didn't take care of him, and that's what happens. But Ohapi is the catcher of the future, and hopefully he comes through next season. Hopefully he's the guy, because I would love to have a power hitting catcher, or even just a hitting catcher, someone who could hit his weight, 250 and higher. I'd be happy with that. So for Halos in the Infield, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with us from day one from last year, which was, I think, in May or June when we started, and being here all this season, even though this season was rough at times. We went through the extreme highs of April and May to the extreme lows of June and July, and then the apathetic August, and then the whatever September. That's what this season's been. It's been very frustrating. You've had your highlights along with Ohtani and some Trout. You've had lowlights with injuries with guys, like Marsh and leaving, Syndergaard leaving, and Walsh being pathetic, and then Rendon getting hurt. And you've had some highlights with a fight. This season's been, more lowlights than highlights, but you can take away some things for next year. And it could be a building block. I'm not going to say this is the 2001 Angels where you saw something building before the 02 season, but I will say that for the first time after seeing an entire year of good pitching, that I'm very confident to see guys like Ohtani return to form and possibly challenge the Cy Young next year, get 20 wins. Sandoval actually get some run support and win maybe 10 or 12 games instead of only 6. Guys like Suarez continue to build his repertoire and his resume and pitch really good. Lorenzen hopefully coming back. Detmers continuing to flourish because he got really good after he got sent down. Something triggered. And he got really good, and I was really happy to see where he got. And then the bullpen, like I said, a closer to me would really help things. A dominant closer, getting another. I mean, we're not going to find a Rossiel again, but somebody comparable to him that scares you. I think Herget should be your Scott Shields, so should be an 8th inning guy. Maybe Kohada, because I don't like him closing, but he does decent when he's in the 7th and 8th inning. But yeah, I think there's a lot to get excited about pitching. The hitting, again, our core 5 with Walsh, Marsh, Marsh. I'm sorry. Let me start that over. Our core 5 with Trout, Ohtani, Walsh, Rendon, and Ward. And if we build around that, if Renifo can repeat what he did, if Fletcher's still good in that 9 spot, Ohapi comes through. There's too many ifs right now. I don't want to be saying ifs. I want this team to fill in those gaps and have backup plans just in case a Rendon goes down, just in case Ohapi has a slow start, just in case Fletcher has a stint on the IL. Let's fill that bench as best as we possibly can and get some power hitters back there, or some contact guys, I should say, because I'm tired of the home run swings too. And let's see what happens with the bench coaches. Do we get the right coaches in here, or do we keep the same staff, which I don't want at all? So there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to think about in the offseason. There's the Ohtani Albatross that we need to get through. There's the Artie Moreno storm cloud hanging over the stadium and over the franchise. What's going to happen there? We're going to put a nice little bow on the season as we get into the show later on, because that'll be the closeout show. We still will be doing podcasts. We'll be doing player profiles like we did last off season. Little videos here to keep you going, keep you thinking about Angels baseball. And I realize it won't be for everybody, but at least you'll have some Angels content coming out, so look for that. And again, and EQ says, who decides the MVP, MLB or the fans? It's the MLB, the writers. Justin says, stop on the Adele hate. I'm with you there, but Justin also says, thanks for the jersey, bro. Adele signed it for me in July when he went to the game in Vegas. So, yeah, Justin's a huge Angel fan and an Adele fan. Look, I'd love for that dude to flourish too, man. The only thing I'm saying is we need another outfielder to challenge him and get him motivated, have a player behind him. So we'll see what happens there. And Badingo says, no, don't bring back the same staff. Get a whole new one that actually wants to win. Well, maybe Nevin has the itch to win, but I know the rest of those guys, maybe outside of Wise, don't. So you have to make changes. There has to be changes, in my opinion. So there you go. That's the end of the show. The last post game for this season. We might do some postseason stuff as well. Might do a viewing game. We might have a what do you call it? We might have a like a watch game on YouTube, postseason run or something, or maybe a elimination party when the Dodgers go out. We'll see what happens. But thanks for everyone for participating and being on the show all year. And we'll have a better format. I guarantee you next year we won't have the Minecraft. One way or another, I'm going to fix this program, or we're going to have a YouTube exclusive channel. So there you go. So everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll hope to catch you soon after this live show in about 2 hours from now.